What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mark Summers, MajorLinux, and it is time for the Cookout podcast. I believe that's the name of it, right? I don't know. Normally, I'm the one who's recording it. I have no idea, like, how to start a thing.
It's the Cookout farm. The Cookout
farm.
Fam. Oh, my God, fam.
It's the Cookout farm. Oh, that sounds bad. That sounds really bad.
God. There's a reason why MajorLinux is talking more.
Of course, the one you hear making all the faux pas on the other end is TemptressTeelia. How you doing?
I'm not doing so well, hence. Oh, God. Fumbling of all fumbles. So this is the Cookout Fam podcast. Major.
Yes, the Cookout Fam podcast, the Cookout show. I don't know. Look, it's all cookout all the time, 24/7. All
That's
your cookout
right.
needs. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's been going on, Teelia? How are you doing? How you living? How are you feeling?
I'm not very well. I'm gonna say I might say some outland. You know what? This is tumultuous Teelia. You don't know what you're gonna get with her.
Oh, fantastic!
Today.
Just roll the dice.
It's just gonna be random some shit. So I'm gonna apologize if I swear. If I say something controversial.
I'll make sure to mark the explicit tag somewhere.
Yeah, please. Because it's crazy. Right now I'm in Southampton, nowhere near my house. I'm in a hotel room. And it took me. I barely made it to get to record the podcast, but yeah, it's I'm just really drained, and my mental capacity is.
So
and we're talking about some crazy topics today.
So for those who are listening, y'all should appreciate it. She did all of this for the art, for the culture.
Yeah, man.
Like, she went through everything to get this show into your ear holes.
That's right.
Just gotta sit back and appreciate that.
They're like, what? Why? Just reschedule. No, I can't, okay? Tomorrow is wedding. I've got a wedding. I've got an African wedding to go to.
Ooh.
My cousin is marrying, I think she's from Uganda. And so we're going to have a Ghanaian-Ugandan clash. Not clash, but it's going to be like, fusion, yeah. So there's going to be a lot of kabas, which is African dress. Ghanaian dress. I don't know what the name for Ugandan dress is. That's my bad. But we're going to have Ugandan and Ghanaian food fusion, and there's a whole load of kinfolk celebrating great times. He's younger than me, getting married first time. So proud of him. He's an outstanding black man, making it work. So you
said the wedding is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
On a Monday.
It's an Easter Monday.
Oh,
Easter Monday.
That's right. I forget there. At my job, people did mention some people celebrate Easter on Monday or have the Monday. I was like, huh? What? Who? What? No.
Yeah. Over here, there's no shops that are open. Well, in Eastleigh, Southampton, there's no shops are open now. Nothing for 2 days. Yeah, people ain't working. They're out celebrating. The pubs are even though. There's loads of people in the pubs getting drunk.
Hey, you gotta get lit somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, here in the States, everything shuts down from Friday to Sunday, except for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except because we have Good Friday. I guess
we still carry on Good Friday. That's not nothing.
Yeah, for us, for my job, we did. It felt weird, going into work and the parking deck was empty, nobody was downtown. I'm like, where'd everybody go? Oh wait, that's right. They're at home enjoying the day off. I'm here at work. This is
ain't that be?
I know.
Do you get money? Do you get extra time?
No, it's not a holiday for the company.
What?
It's not. The only people who had off in our company were those who lived in Ontario. What? I'm not even sure the people in Ireland will get Monday off.
Yeah, they will.
Really?
Yes, they will. Are they Northern Ireland or Ireland?
No, they're Cork. They're in Cork.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. No, they should. It's religious. They're very religious in Ireland.
I've not heard anything about it.
Yeah, no, they're super religious in Ireland. Yeah, that's a national holiday, mate.
Well,
Yeah,
I will let you know tomorrow whether or not we
yeah.
had
So they'll be
turnover from
off.
people in
They'll
court.
yeah, they'll be off. Friday. So even though it's not a big thing, shops are still open. But Friday is a bank holiday, so it's a
Okay.
long weekend. So people didn't go to work like at all on Friday in terms of like banks and government services and things like that. Office workers mainly. Retail was still open, and then Saturday was that's why everybody's all like rushing around, trying to get food because Sunday there's a law in England that if your store is over a certain size, you legally cannot open. So all the supermarkets are not allowed to open at
That,
all. It's like it's Easter Sunday law.
that's it. I'm moving to the UK now.
And you get better living. I'm telling you.
My wife, she was it Anglophile? I think that's
She's
the
an
word.
Anglophile. She doesn't like English people.
Wait, is it file? Wait, what's the one that you like English people? You like that culture?
Then is it Anglophile?
I thought
Sorry,
it was Anglophile.
Yeah, it could be that.
Because
Don't ask me. Don't ask me this.
Because it's like the root of that word is in other places.
Because it's a phobic.
Yeah, phobic is fear.
Phobic
I think
is fear.
file.
So file is good. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So she's an Anglophile. She loves everything like UK, British, all that. Like, quite frankly, I'm partial to it too. I faked an English accent in high school to try to get rid of my Southern accent. So
why Southern?
I don't know, because when I go to New York, I'm easily pointed out.
So,
like, oh, you guys must be really from the South. I was like, nah, like I'm not trying to be an easy target.
But your accent is heavily Southern.
I'm sorry.
Your accent isn't heavily Southern at all.
You're right. It's not, because I got rid of it.
That's awful.
I do not think so at all. Like I'm that person who wants to go into a place, and unless I want to be known, I don't need anybody to know who I am or where I'm from, what I do. Just don't pay attention to me, please.
Oh, you can tell that I'm from London.
Oh, well, yes.
Oh, for sure. Like, I was talking to some people today, and I was on my P's and Q's. So how I'm talking now, put a little bit more posher, and I was talking to people in Southampton, and they could tell I wasn't from Southampton because they have a little accent as well.
Well, I mean, that's if I went to California, they could tell I'm not from California. Or if I still go to New York, they can tell I'm not from New York. But they may not be able to pinpoint that I'm from the South.
What? For your accent now? Yes, I understand.
Right.
I think your accent is more like it's quite clean in terms of an accent in terms of district. Like, right. You can't pinpoint it.
I'm trying to be agnostic. You know, I am an American, but where in America?
I think you're more like Midwest, so it's more of a Midwest, like middle America kind of vibe.
Yeah, I try not to but I try not to let people know I'm from the South.
That's really sad.
I mean, but I've never identified as a Southerner.
What?
Like, I don't eat a lot of Southern food. I do not drink sweet tea.
Oh, sweet tea is trash. So yeah.
Don't tell that to anybody here.
I said I'm saying it straight up. Your sweet tea is trash. Chicken and waffles is trash.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, maple syrup all over that shit. Oop, it's trash.
Well, that little bell that went off. Yep, that's the explicit tag.
Trash. There's I don't like a lot of sweet things that are mixed with savory, so that's trash. Your bacon is trash. Your chocolate is trash. There's a lot of things.
Well, yeah, America, I don't know.
We're gonna be talking about some of your food later on.
That's fine. Like, again,
you've seen what happened.
you've seen what happened when I go into the channel or go into the Discord and be like, macaroni and cheese is trash. If I did that
No,
right
macaroni and
now,
cheese. Okay, ooh, that will lit a fire. Do it. Oh, let's do it.
oh, I'll do it right now. I mean,
Do it in
actually,
lounge.
I don't think it has the same gravitas now, because I've done it before.
Oh, you know what you could say? You instead of saying mac and cheese, potato salad is a pile of hot doo doo.
Oh, I believe that too. See, again,
What?
Southern food for me is I've no attachment to any of this.
Okay, so shall I give you a slight confession? I didn't really care. I don't really care for mac and cheese or potato salad because it's not an African thing that I grew up with. So I didn't really understand potato salad and mac and cheese until I dated Caribbean guys or when I eventually married my American husband. So, and I never even knew about mac and cheese and potato salad is trash. Prove me wrong. So okay, for everybody that's in podcast, we have a Discord. MajorLinux has literally just said, "I have an announcement to make. Mac and cheese and potato salad is trash. Prove me wrong." And throughout this podcast, I will be live telling you how infuriated people are.
I'm gonna up the ante
this.
here. I'm gonna actually post this.
What are you gonna say?
On
Oh,
Twitter.
you know what you should say? Woo, Chad, you just went, oh, God. Yeah, post it on Twitter and I will support you. I'll be like, oh, I don't know, can I?
Listen, I'm gonna get real
Depends on the mac
personal.
and cheese. Ooh, what are you gonna
quick.
say?
I'm gonna put it on Facebook, where only people who know exactly who I am. There we go. Today on Easter Sunday, I am making all of my opinions known. That mac and cheese and potato salad are hot piles of garbage, and they should never exist. Because again, why do you have noodles and cheese and no meat? What are you doing? This is not a meal.
You know what? So I like mac and cheese that isn't completely runny. I like mac and cheese that has got a lot of cheese, and when you pick it up, it's not like saucy. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
I know my dad. He makes mac and cheese. It's like a casserole,
right?
Where it's like you cut it. It's like you get a block of macaroni and cheese.
Mm. Yeah,
and it's like even there, it's like no.
That's what I'm used. That's what I'm used to eating because I'm not really used to a really wet mac and cheese. Because in England we have a wet mac and cheese where it is the most deadest of all things. Dead. When I'm saying dead, the flavor is dead. It's not something traditionally that if you go to the store, it's in a can, fam.
Oh,
like mac and cheese, like, buff. It's in the baked bean aisle, fam. Like,
wow. No.
Because my mum is white, she would buy the mac and cheese, and she would make the mac and cheese, and I hated it. Hated it. So I was like, I'm not eating mac and cheese. Every time when I went to a cookout or anything like that, I refused point blank to eat mac and cheese in England until I learned how to make it the way I like it. Right. If that makes sense. So I won't turn up my nose to mac and cheese now. Potato salad, I never used to care for it. But I like to make it a particular way. So I like to have the baby potatoes with the skin on. Mm-hmm. And I like to make it like that with obviously mayonnaise and a little bit of mustard and a little bit more flavoring. And I know if I brought a potato salad to the cookout, they would not like the potato salad because it's not traditionally what you would find in the cookout potato salad. I don't really like the type of potato salad that I eat in the like in the barbecue place. Like it's hot trash. So that in the UK that I've had, potato salad is hot trash.
So I've come up with an idea.
Okay.
Because I said like mac and cheese is just trash because it has no meat in it. But essentially, I've essentially described hamburger helper without the hamburger.
What? That's just a basic bun. and cheese, but
Hamburger Helper. Have you not heard of hamburger? It may be an
no,
American thing. So Hamburger Helper
no.
is noodles and cheese
What?
with hamburger in it.
What?
So essentially, it's mac and cheese with ground beef.
What?
Hold on. Let's see here.
I remember seeing a mac and cheese burger. It looked like mac and cheese, and it was in a bun. I remember seeing that.
All right,
and I thought, okay, you're going too far now, bro.
Hold on. I got you. I gotta find the right channel to be in.
Where you want to pull it at?
I'm gonna put in. It's in the podcast talk channel.
Alright. Holy linkaroni.
Yeah, it's a Google search. Sorry, with a whole bunch of
Okay,
hamburger
see,
helper
that
images.
to me is just pasta casserole, like it's a pasta bake.
Right.
It's like
well,
put that skillet in the oven and put some cheese over it, fam. Like, and that's a pasta dish.
well, it's made similar to macaroni and cheese. You ground up and you make the hamburger, like break up the hamburger in a pan. Then you add the hamburger helper stuff into it.
Why don't you just make? But that make no sense. Why don't you just make a spaghetti and put the ground beef in there, and then basically make a spaghetti bolognese, but without the spaghetti?
Because
you
it's
just
America, everything's in a box, and that's how you make it.
Oh, Lord.
You're asking for way too much.
The fact that they don't even use fresh onions in this goddamn recipe, I should just straight up kill you for that. But okay.
Well, we've had so much. So again, with everybody being so busy, no time for anything. This is one of the things my wife loved to make quite often. To where I had to get her to stop making it because it was literally every other day we had hamburger. I said, "Stop! Don't do this." I actually have a list.
Literally, it's a pasta dish with meat. It's not macaroni and cheese to me. This is not macaroni cheese.
Well, for me, having never wanting to eat macaroni and cheese, this is what it looks like to me. It looks like macaroni and cheese with hamburger in it.
It's not hamburger. It's literally minced meat.
Well, it's ground beef. It's ground beef.
Yeah, but that's minced meat. It's literally a bolognese sauce. Like, what? Well, this is how the Italians would make it. They would have just with spaghetti.
My thing is, yes, you are right. It's the same thing as like the ground beef you would put in spaghetti. Yeah. And all right, so we got our first response to my wildly controversial topic. Not everything is for everyone. I have a great
Tambura is so Tambura, go on. What do you say?
Not everything is for everyone. I have had great mac and cheese and trash mac and cheese. Potato salad is always a gamble.
There you go. There we go. Tambura in the morning.
I think I believe
so
they are new.
As well.
Yeah, but I believe they're very new and don't know that I've done this like 3 times already.
And hopefully he's gonna hear this and he'll be like, "Oh wow, okay." Like, if you're new, if you're new to the Cookout, we have a little bit of a roasty kind of grilling session where we would make a triggering blanket statement sometimes, and just go off, or we would just because we know each other obviously and other people as well. So if you ever see us just go back and particularly me back and forth and like go after somebody in the most like trolly kind of way, it's because they know they're okay to it, and I can do that. I typically don't do it to anybody that I don't know properly. Just putting it out there.
All right, so on Facebook, we've had some people here. Mac and cheese with sriracha is good. Agree with potato salad though. A friend of mine from a previous job put a Medea gif shaking her head back and forth. No. Somebody else, subjective, impossible to be right or wrong.
Wow.
Last one so far. We gonna throw hands. Mac and cheese is great, but sprinkle in a little of that Weber's garlic and sriracha, and it's amazing.
So people put sriracha sauce in their mac and cheese? Everybody, if you're hearing this podcast, do you put sriracha in your? Do you put mustard in your mac and cheese?
That
Some
mustard
people
I've
put
not heard.
mustard,
I would believe sriracha because it gives it that kick.
but mustard gives it also that kick. But it's a
See,
different, it's a earthy, peppery taste.
and I think that's what like. I'll eat mustard
Hold
if it
on.
was
Real mustard.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
ain't
sorry.
talking about
I'm
that
sorry.
fake paste.
You know, I keep forgetting I'm in America and it's just like Heinz yellow mustard. That's it.
Wow. No, like real, like literally, you make that from scratch. But
No, like I'm sorry.
peppercorn, you see the peppercorns in that?
You know, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go. So I'm supposed to meet my family later on today. I'm gonna take my camera. I'm gonna record a video. Look, how much of this stuff from this Easter dinner did you make from scratch? None. Thank you. Welcome to the American household.
Wow, you wouldn't make it from scratch?
I don't think anybody will. All right, let's go back. Let's define scratch here. At what point in the process is it not scratch?
If the main components of the dish that make the dish is store bought, that's not from scratch.
Okay, no, like they do combine different ingredients together to make the thing.
Okay, that's the minimum requirement.
Okay.
But from scratch is like everything you made from scratch.
Nah.
Like that's the extreme. Like, but for me, if I go say I'm gonna make a roast dinner, like a turkey and potato, like a proper roast meal, like something that you have in Thanksgiving, for time purposes, I probably would buy store-bought Yorkshire puddings because I know Yorkshire puddings are very hard to get right.
Okay.
And that can really and if I bought store-bought Yorkshire puddings, it's ready in 2 minutes. Whereas if I made it, that's another 10-15 minutes, and I'm the only one cooking, and I have like a tight schedule. Like I have everything planned to a T, where all the food, when it's ready, the food is already ready on the table. Like I've planned it to the point where, like, it's all got timings, you know.
Right. So it's like we're not shucking corn. Like we'll buy like cans of corn and put that in a pot and then make.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't shuck corn either. I would buy pre-made, corn off the cob.
Okay.
In it, So yeah, I wouldn't cut the corn from the cob. That's a bit crazy. Okay. I mean, I used to when I was a kid. That's how I learned it. Because we used to have a vegetable garden in our back garden. So we had corn. We grew potatoes, cauliflower, lettuce, tomatoes, sunflowers. Because my dad liked sunflower seeds, so he grew sunflowers.
Right.
So I grew up making things from scratch. Do you understand what I mean?
Right.
So I can appreciate it. I can appreciate the kind of some of the convenience, but I tend to understand what is in all of the things that are in the sauces and things like that. And I know in terms of money and cost effectiveness, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
You are not saving money because I've been taught you make your own.
Right.
You understand? Like that saves you money. That's
right.
It was the frugal African. If that's the most biggest stereotype ever. Frugal. We're frugal. We make sure we know where every pound is going to, but at the same time, we will spend if we want to spend. Right. It's one of those ones. But yeah, my dad was very tight-fisted. My dad, if you've ever watched Everybody Hates Chris, Terry's character's dad, my dad was that. If you understand, we didn't have sweets or anything like. My dad was that.
Right.
He counted every penny, so I learned that. So I make things from scratch, and if it's convenient and if it makes sense and it's cheaper, then I would add.
Yeah,
like time effectiveness and stuff.
I wish my family was like that. We were not up there. Like honestly, I wish I learned that frugal nature, but because I didn't, now that I've been blessed with the job and the finances that I'm able to have, I don't know how to control it. So I get myself in trouble quite often.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we didn't have money like that, but also it's not like we were counting every penny either.
Oh, we were kind of
Yeah,
repetitive.
like even for our financial situation, like it was easier for my parents to get in trouble quite quickly, to where like when I started realizing their financial advice to me was like terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, like, I know you're my parents and I love you and I know you love me, but I need to stop listening to you
I mean,
because it's
don't get me
just
wrong. Don't get it
bad.
twisted. I didn't have great financial advice either in that regard. Like, I'm poor, but I make my buck stretch. If you
Right,
understand what I mean, like, I'm not. Oh, we don't have any food today, folks. We have no lights on. Like, it's not. Everything's paid for. I'm
right,
living literally pay to paycheck, obviously,
right,
but we're eating good. I'm overweight because I'm eating.
right.
So
So if you
it's
look at the pie chart of Telia's
um
finances, it's like
yes,
50% is food.
food, yes, food. Because it was more of a comfort food. Like
Right,
food, it was a comfort for me
right.
because we never had toys, we never had anything. But you ate,
Mm-hmm.
you ate, and
Mm-hmm.
in Ghana you have big portions, and in Ghana you don't leave that table until you finish the food.
Right.
You don't leave that till you finish everything on your plate. So now, as I've grown up, which is kind of like a bad thing, is when I order, I'm getting big portions because I'm really
Yeah.
hungry, and then I realize,
Yes.
my how I've been raised. I'm like, I have to finish this because I'm not allowed to waste food. So then I eat
Yes.
more than my belly is supposed to, and then I get overweight. That's what happened.
Or for me,
And
it's
then
not
my
so.
belly big.
And for me, it's not so much like I don't get up from the table unless I finish. I'm like, well, there are starving kids places.
No, yeah, this is what literally my dad would say,
It's
and he
like
was from Ghana.
I can't leave
So
this here because this is me taking food from these people.
yeah, he
And so it's
would
like
go
I
on a
gotta sit
big
there and
rant.
finish. Yeah.
Yeah, and you felt bad for it, and because he's Ghanaian. Hey, he ain't joking. And so
Yeah.
I'll give you a chance thing. This is extreme, right? He made me, well, my mum, my stepmom, but I call her my mum. She made me some banku and okra. And banku is like maize, it's like maize balls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite glutinous. It's like a dough ball, but it's not. It's more sticky. It's
Right.
like with maize. I don't know what is close to it in America, but anyway, it's quite glutinous in that. And then okra soup. If anybody's ever had okra soup, or okra is very slimy, and I didn't like it, and it actually made me vomit, and I really didn't like it. And she gave me the banku and okra, and I refused to eat it. I said, I'm not gonna eat it. And my dad was like, you need to eat it. I said, I'm not gonna eat it. Like, I don't like it at all. I can't believe I was so brazen to tell him I'm not gonna eat it. Jesus. So he goes, well, you're not eating anything. So I went to bed hungry. I got up. I went to get breakfast. There on the table was the banku and okra. And, and it took me for me to throw up for them to stop giving me the okra and banku.
Yeah, it took me several years to learn that in order to get anybody to stop you from to stop forcing you to do something, you have to do the absolute worst.
Yeah. But I
Um,
genuinely threw up.
but
It
that's
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
I
Like, all right,
can't
look,
take this texture.
I will,
Slimy texture makes me vomit.
I will, like, look, you don't want this. I will do it, and I'm not afraid to do it. You know, I was ready to throw up today. Don't push me. Don't do it. I'll do it right here. Do it right now. Like, all right, chill. Please,
And
do
it's
not.
so funny. My mum always, every time when she has she never makes it for me, and she always talks about the awkward situation where I threw up, and even me seeing the soup makes me want to gag. So she doesn't bring it. She doesn't
Right.
even bring it around me. She doesn't even ask me to chop okra anymore. Like so I mean that's one good thing. I don't ever have to look at okra ever again. Thank God.
See, some people look at that as a victory. See, it's a small
It is a
victories.
victory. But through pain, you know what? Actually, through pain, there's to it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
guys, just remember that when you're down and out, in a couple of years' time, 10 years' time, you're gonna look back for that made me stronger, and I got what I needed to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember that.
get out of so many things. It's great.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, good. What were we talking about? We've been
Well,
talking about food.
we have been, and it's been
We done that. We
pleasant.
done that watching. Yeah, we. I mean, that's part of the watching, the cooking segment, I
Exactly.
guess.
It's
I mean,
like what it's like what not to what don't expect me to bring this to the cookout section.
yeah. Don't bring. What can you? What should you never bring to a cookout? Actually,
Hmm.
funnily enough, I th- I don't think that there's anything that
No.
you can't bring. It's just bad tasting food.
Right.
So if you bring a shitty potato salad, you're gonna get grilled the hell out. Like you're gonna get towed up. People will tell you this is trash. They will tell you because they won't eat it, and they will say this is whoever made this potato salad is trash, and they'll say it out loud. Well, the cookouts I've been to,
It's not you getting
they'll
called out like,
roast.
look,
Yeah.
Sandra over there, no ma'am, do not,
No way.
don't bring this. No,
No,
you're in
no.
charge of the napkins from here on out.
Yeah, literally. It's savage mode. And if God forbid, if someone whoever's doing the barbecue and you give bloody chicken, hey Jesus, hey my goodness, you're getting off that barbecue quick, and people will take over and say, get out of here. You can't even cook
Yep,
chicken. What are you?
you're
I said,
fired. You're
you're
fired.
fine. And then the next barbecue come around. Oh, let me do it now. Cool.
No, no,
Like no. No, never that, never that. So yeah, that for me is either undercooking or overcooking, like poorly made food. You're not allowed to bring cookout.
I mean, but see, overcooking is still touchy because people like, all right, I know for me, like
I mean,
especially
we
with burgers
overcook
and
our chicken.
steaks, like it's medium well, but like I'll take it well. And there are people who like, for most people, like,
Burn
all
the
right,
hell out of it.
it's got to be well, like just well.
Yeah, that's
But
fine. But when I mean overcooking, I mean burnt,
yeah, like, but
charcoal.
see, and that's the thing. Like, there are certain things people actually enjoy burnt at a
And
cookout.
I don't want my everything to be burnt, fam. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
yeah,
Like
I
when
get
I'm
what you're
looking at the
saying.
thing,
I get what you're saying.
but
Like certain things can be. I mean, not like rock hard. Like, yo, I could use this hamburger patty to set the fire for the next cookout because it's literally charcoal at this point. But yeah, like
I got served that once. I said, "What is this?" I actually said, "What is this? Get out of here, man!
this
Just
disc
get out."
trying to serve me
What
a
is
rock?
this?
Like, what do you hate me?
What?
Like, what is this? No, put
But
some
what
cheese
is
and ketchup
this?
on it. No,
No,
this ain't
I'm
gonna
not eating that.
save that.
It's literally charcoal at this point. No. And I was like, and then I had to go to the barbecue, and I'm like, this is not how we do barbecue. I actually said, I was like, this is not how we do barbecue. It was a hot mess. And I actually turned around and said, I'm going to host the next barbecue at my house. Some people don't know how to goddamn use barbecue. They just literally had it on coals and they didn't smoke it or that. They literally just grilled it on an open flame.
Yeah,
Raw meat.
Yeah,
Raw meat. Yeah.
yes. Speaking of barbecues, and I know we had touched on this last year, but yeah, I mean last month. But yeah, Cypherforce Center trying to get me to cook the meat for everybody at Korean barbecue. No, like
Yeah.
I don't trust myself for my food. Why would you?
Don't do that.
No.
Yeah. You made a good choice.
Everybody did. Like I was so glad. Like Data Dave and DJ Knight were back and said no. Just no.
See, well done because they understand quality food should not be done by a novice.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
you can't do it.
First time here. I don't know any of this.
Like, why would you do that? It's like what the barbecue or the grill is probably the most pivotal thing that can make or break your cookout.
And what has me afraid about it? I mean, what has me afraid about it is I've taken culinary classes. So, like, thinking about the internal temperature of meat and what looks good and what doesn't, I get in my head to where it's like, if I were to make a steak at home for me and my wife, she expects it's going to be cut, it's going to be checked because she doesn't want that either. But if I'm sitting there doing it for a whole bunch of people, like, bruh, like, did you just open up the operating theater and we're all just in there, like, dissecting steaks and burgers to make sure everything is optimal. Like you bought in special equipment to measure the temperature and the microbes in the burger. Because like I'm not here to try to make anybody sick, and I don't need that kind of pressure in my life.
And
So,
everybody go and talk about it. If you make anybody sick at the cookout, next day people cuss you out. And you got that reputation you made everybody sick.
And I'm out of town.
We all know. Yeah, ooh.
And I was out of town, so like I can't escape. I can't run away. People know exactly where I'm at because where am I going to go in Florida? I don't live here.
Yep. No. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So again, it's another life lesson. If you want to take from the show, do not be afraid to admit that you do not want to do a thing, that you are not comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Because if you sit there and try to act like you know what you're doing and get everybody sick, well, they coming for you.
Oh yeah, they come for you.
Stop.
I don't know any people that won't come for you. So them bad food.
Yeah, I ain't about that life. I don't need that kind of smoke, literally.
Oh god. I mean, where things are going. We've just had a 40-minute conversation about food.
Yeah, see? I mean, it's a cookout, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Like, to join the community, if I know, y'all talking about streaming and video games and art?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was a cook. I thought this was a cooking Discord. I thought we were cooking. I came in here to learn how to cook so my wife can get off my back about me not cooking for her. I thought this is what this was, but it's not. I guess I can learn how to stream too so I can fit in. I don't know.
Is that why you're here?
No,
you really came to learn how to cook?
Actually, to be honest, I joined the cookout because I was trying to get into Black Desert Online. And I saw Diddy tweeting about the Black Desert Online cookout community. So, a group of POCs who play Black Desert Online. Unfortunately, upon joining the cookout, I've abandoned BDO.
I abandoned BDO as well.
I'll find somewhere else to fit in. And I did. I did it.
I played so much of BDO when it came out, and then it just became so unplayable because of the servers. Apparently they fixed it, but it's enough for me that BDO you have to play every single day.
Yeah,
I can't play those games anymore.
I got stuck somewhere and said, all right, I'll come back to it. Hadn't played it for months. Decided to pick it up a couple of months ago. And it's like, one, I don't remember where I'm at, what I'm supposed to be doing. Two,
oh no,
I can't figure out anything on this keyboard because I forgot. You know what? Nah, I'm done. This was fun while it lasted, but I'm done.
Yeah, MMOs to a degree, like if you have, like it's the same with Ark, right? Like you had to log in, otherwise all your dinos go, or like dinos die, and like that's a full-time job, fam.
That game just for you to confusing. I was like, yeah, I'm good on that.
I used to play Ark. I literally never slept because we had to stay up. And when we wanted a trike egg, we wanted to make our own babies. Literally, to make a baby, the egg to hatch, you had to stay up for how many hours? I think it was like 14, 15 hours. Or no, like one day and 15 hours. Like it took like a couple of days. And literally, you had a seat where you had to literally sit there and watch the egg and make sure it wasn't get too hot, and then turn it over. So we had to have shifts because people couldn't handle it. Like you literally had baby duty.
That's too much.
That's too much. Yeah, it's too much. And I loved Ark. I played Ark all the time. I loved building an Ark, but I can't play. But people was like, "Yeah, let's go back to Ark." I'm like, "No, I'm cool." And I think, what was it, the new one, the Ark made? What's that new?
Atlas.
Atlas. It's the same. It literally said you have to log on every day to make some progress. And people are like, "Yeah, let's go Atlas." I'm like, "I'm okay. I'm good. I'm not going to fall trap again."
Yeah, the most MMO I'm going to do is the Division 2. That's
Division. Yeah, exactly. So if I've got.
Like the world stops when I'm not here. That's fantastic. We'll continue this tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I mean, other than your gear, and you might not be ready for like incursion raids and that.
Yeah, see, I ain't got that far. So I'm not even concerned about that right now.
What are you playing on the PC or?
Yeah, I'm playing on PC.
Well, we should play together whenever
should.
my PC. You know that Tiffany's got a predominantly POC guild, right?
No, I
Clan.
didn't.
Yeah, SG Tiffany. She plays it on a daily, like not on a daily, but a lot.
See,
and you can join that clan.
I'm so adverse to like the playing with other people because like I've owned it for about like maybe 2 weeks. Only played it once because the fact that you know like I do other things like I stream Linux stuff. I don't know.
It's okay. I haven't played it in a month because my PC.
I've wanted to actually just play it on my own, but I've been busy trying to get some videos and stuff done for my channel.
Well, hit up SG Tiffany and anybody else. Division 2. Hit up SG Tiffany. If there's clan space, it's called D&D.
Slide right.
Delta and Deaths, but it's like a.
You know, like I think I've seen them talk about that, but I was like, is that yeah, I'm not into Dungeons and Dragons. I'm good on that.
Okay, yeah, but it's funny because some of the crew in there play Dungeons and Dragons, but it's a play on words, so it looks like D&D. We kind of love D&D and role play in that aspect. And Deltas and Deaths is what you get. Deltas and Division 2. So we're kind of making a mockery, like a semi.
I see what y'all doing. Got you.
Yeah. Well, it's not my clan. It's Tiffany's and Azurix and Dweezil's clan.
No, Tila's coming and said, "Nah, it's all mine. Thank you for setting it up. Man. I'm running it down. I'm taking over."
No, they're heavy into Division, so it's all good. But yeah, what else are we supposed to talk about? Should we just have like an hour-long conversation about food? Should we just do that?
I mean, sure. I'm not opposed to this. Like after I get done here, like I'm expecting another package, but after that, I'm about to go to my parents' house and have all Easter related things, and it's probably going to be some food. So, I think.
Go on. I think we could. We might not have to. We don't. I don't think. In terms of time frame, I think we can skip topic of the day.
Yeah.
And we could just do the tea.
Let's do the tea.
And have a conversation, man. Yeah.
Sip some tea here. I'm gonna learn.
What do you want to start first? What do you want to start off with first? And
so I've opened up some tabs here, and the first one. Is the Ben and Jerry demands Congress to expunge cannabis convictions, which
I saw
somewhat
that.
Food related. You know, you get a little hungry.
Okay, see, no, the good segue. Good segue there. Look at that.
I feel like it was a stretch, but okay.
We are, but it's still the same.
It is ice cream as well. Ice cream, Ben and Jerry's ice cream. You know.
Yeah. So when did they announced it yesterday at 4:20?
Yes.
Because of 4:20, and they were pretty straightforward and clear cut.
It's not
and they talked about no words.
Words.
I'm actually questioning the person or people behind this. Were they a person of color? Because they literally said people of color are being held back because of this. Like they literally said that. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, there is a possibility, but Ben and Jerry have not been ones to kind of, for lack of a better term, they've been quote unquote woke for a while.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
really?
they are with like of any company of any people who I would believe this is a legitimate message, it would be Ben and Jerry.
So it is a legitimate.
Yes, I believe this is legitimate.
I like the Nike campaign with Kevin. What was his name? Kaepernick.
Yeah,
that's to me. That's not legit.
Yeah,
like
the Nike thing. That's
not legit.
But
because Nike don't even have good ethics in how they make their clothing and shoes. So nah, that was for sales. If anybody thinks otherwise, come at me, bro. Let's go, because Nike is probably one of the worst brands out there that people think do no wrong, but yet they are absolutely unethical and have zero fair trade and how they help or support their workers. It's literally next to slave trade. It's ridiculous,
Right.
and they get away with it. They've made they're from bad all the way to maybe I think it's doing okay in the ethics report, and Adidas is good. It's not excellent, but it's good. So Adidas is ahead by miles from Nike. And funnily enough, I only wear Adidas. I've always maintained Adidas. I'm not a big Nike fan.
Right. But I don't think I don't think this is a political thing. I mean, a publicity thing. I think they're behind it 100%.
Well, that's good.
I'm trying to.
I like it. I actually like what they thought. It makes sense. If you've legalized marijuana, why do people still have marijuana convictions?
Right,
and just expunge it so people can get a job at least. Come on, guys.
And I mean, and the thing too is like, what would they have? Like, they have nothing really to gain.
No,
by talking about it. Like,
yeah, they are ice cream.
Yeah, it's not like, man, all those black people who are arrested for marijuana isn't buying our ice cream. You should let them out. Like, no. Like, they could have said nothing or made a different 420 joke about, hey, you're getting high, buy our ice cream.
It's true. Yeah, they could have. Yeah, it's true.
Like, they're going to Congress and saying, hey, you should really do something about this.
They're actually doing something about going to Congress and actually pushing that.
Yeah, so like.
So do you think, and this is for everybody out there as well, do you think people's records should be expunged, even though the misdemeanors that were taken play that when they caught that charge, marijuana was illegal? Do you think it should be expunged now that marijuana is now legal?
I mean,
in some states,
I think it does because of the fact that I get looking at what they're saying, and I mean, kind of just seeing it happen in the streets here. People of color are being convicted more heavily than white people for the same amount or even less drugs.
Yeah. So, and they're still being convicted, even though.
Right, or like white people, if they had it, it's like, oh no, I'm sorry. Like, well, look, don't do it again. Where if I was caught with it, oh no, I'm instantly in the back of the car, if not something worse.
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, I do.
And
feel
it
like
is more worse.
Right. So it's like I feel like it should be expunged because of the fact that there is a bit of systemic racism in the justice system that would lock me up as opposed to my white friend. For having the same or less amount of drugs on me. Like, they could literally be high and have it, and it's like, nah, look, we're going to take you home. Please be okay. Don't do nothing stupid. But for me, like, if I picked up something off the ground, I was like, oh, this is bad, I should throw it away, and somebody saw me with it, then yeah, I'm being hauled off the county.
So do you think... So I agree with you on that part, and I'm opening up the discussion about now. That's a misdemeanor. We're talking about misdemeanor. Now, if it's a felony, if you're a drug dealer, do you think the drug felony charges should be expunged? Then the judge never said felony. They said misdemeanors. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I feel like
this is. Do you think felonies should be like they are heavily distributing marijuana? They are drug dealers.
I mean, no. If you are moving product with the intent to like sell and distribute it like huge amounts, then yeah, if you got caught, hey, marijuana was illegal when you got caught. Now, maybe the sentences, like, I feel like we may want to visit sentencing at that point, but expungement, no. Like that I feel like holding warehouses or like tons of marijuana is different than
having a weed farm but no license.
That, and then too, I'm like, when I'm thinking misdemeanors of like people holding marijuana, I'm talking like, look, I just went to the dispensary and got like
Like,
the bag. Or I went to go see my weed man today, and he
yeah,
gave me that dime
for
bag.
personal use. For me, misdemeanors personal use.
Right,
Felonies uh, for me is you are distributing and
right,
provide like your. It's more of the distribution level.
right.
It's and dealing like
Yeah, now
you're
that
and selling.
I would say if we were to revisit that, then maybe look at the sentencing, like who got what, and then try to readjust it.
Do you
Like if
think?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you think it's like when I think about what's going on in for you guys in America, we don't have, for the record, marijuana is not legal to use here. You
Right.
can have medical marijuana,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to go to the doctors. So it's not, we don't have dispensaries and things like that. We're not allowed to grow weed. So that's not something that we can have here.
Right.
But when I think about, I think it's so ironic that medical marijuana became a business for white investors and then marijuana became legal. I just kind of just want to put that out there.
I
And
mean,
that's
that's.
controversial, Telia.
I mean, it's
I just think it's
controversial
quite.
up until it's true. So, I mean, you're not wrong. Like once it becomes a benefit, like once people see, all right, there are some upsides to this, then people start changing their tone.
But
Um,
I think because I I get very mad when I hear about the dispensaries, and I feel I because especially when we're talking about felonies and distribution,
mm-hmm.
if the people, in particular, I'm talking about Pox here, if they got done for distribution and they didn't have a permit, what's the difference other than the permit from the white counterpart that has a dispensary and has a weed farm? That essentially it's the same kind of thing, and I feel that they only made it legal for when white people got into it and started heavily investing in dispensaries, and now it became okay. And I think
Right,
that's pretty
because I
much
mean,
up.
at that point, they started feeding money into the system.
Of course,
Like that's
but
what it was. It's
you
like
know,
it because of the fact that the government isn't making money off of it. You could all like if there's that, and then to like, oh man, look at what this one person did when he was on marijuana. Then it's all bad. But then when they start realizing, hey, wait, we can tax this,
they
and
should have been thinking about that time. Like, this is a tax. Look how many people are smoking ganja. Bah! How is this like, this should have been done from, from alcohol back in
be,
1930s or whatever. This is a long going, it was almost like, and this is, I'm talking about America, it's almost like they were using marijuana in order to justify uh, putting black people or people of color in jails, so then they go into the jail system and the private jails and that modern slavery 13th Amendment type deal
well, yeah, I
thing that
mean,
going on. I really feel that it was like a conspiracy to say,
it's the same
fuck
thing
it.
with crack. Like that's kind
Well,
of what happened
let's
here
not even
too.
go into crack.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
really not go into crack,
I mean,
because crack is really another thing. It makes me so mad. It just gets me mad because it's one rule for them and one rule for somebody else,
exactly.
and it's almost like they had to make crack different from cocaine in order to crack down.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse the pun. Crack down on POC. So then they knew. So crack is for POCs, and cocaine is for the white elites or the elitists,
And
the investors. And
crack is a lot more dangerous than regular
yes, it
cocaine.
is.
So if we
Yes, it
don't
is.
catch them, they'll just kill themselves.
Yep,
So
it's a great way to kill people. They keep that culling of the population. And yes, I'm really talking about that. And here comes big Miss Conspiracy Telia here. It is a fact that the certain populations are in a decline. White population is in decline, and by 2030-ish, the majority will no longer be a majority. It will be the minority in the USA. Just telling you, just letting you know there. I'm just putting it out there, okay?
And it's
So
not like they don't already know.
they already know. They know about it. And that's why there's a lot of things that they've introduced, and this is conspiracy theory coming to me. It's facts, but some people be like, "What the hell is she spewing?" But to me, it really is that they systematically introducing certain killers into neighborhoods to cull the population in order to maintain that status quo, and in order to continue to thrive in communities. But what's happening is that as we're becoming quote unquote woke, I hate that word, more interracial families are happening. You're getting more, more open and understanding allies, and more Pox are getting us getting on the ladder to becoming like rich, and they invest heavily, so the deaths are not as the epidemic is not as hardcore as it was in the 80s. Like AIDS as well. AIDS was a major thing in the 90s. Now that they've got medicines, because it started to filter into the white upper class, the white upper class used to, they got AIDS, and now all of a sudden there's AIDS medication that can, not AIDS, HIV, I apologize. HIV medication that can take away that affects in it not to go into AIDS. So I mean, that's funny that happened. But for a good 15 years, that were, you had a lot of people that had HIV that went to full blown AIDS because there was nothing to do. They couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
And then it started filtering into a different population. Oh wait, we got this medication now that we can suppress it and it will never go into full blown AIDS. But you just have to pay a shitload ton of money for it. Right, funny
that's the thing. Yeah. Like it's right when it starts threatening money and power and influence. That's what. Oh wait, we should do something about this now.
Oh, funny that. Oh, it's hurting us now. Oh.
I mean, and then too, like, we talk about like, all right, there's a drug. All right, so when you look at crack, we look at marijuana and how there's this war on drugs. It's funny when opioids, right? It's funny when opioids becomes a thing. We're not cracking down on opioid users. No, we have it. It's an opioid crisis. We need to properly teach people about their medications and not to be addicted of opioids. Like, wait, but what about the same thing? Oh, wait, that's right. It wasn't the same thing because you introduced it to us,
right?
And it's like, of course, we're just here, have it, have fun. If we catch you with it, we're going to throw you in jail. If not, have a nice life. You won't last very long.
Yeah, there you go. It literally is culling off circulation. Mm-hmm. Let's make heroin was the cheaper version of the opioids, and that's a way to filter out the working class and what they deem as undesirables. Mm-hmm. Are we going in too deep? We're supposed to be a lighthearted. Lord Jesus.
So you know what I find really lighthearted though. If we're going to go back,
okay,
porn.
Let's go back.
Porn.
Okay, let's do it.
A rough day, the kids, the wife are asleep. Sometimes Mm-hmm. I got this nice chair in my room. I got TV.
You get ready.
I turn it on. I got a wireless keyboard for my computer in my office.
Oh, so you're really ready?
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're ready to go. Okay. And your wife is cool about that, right?
Look, sometimes we sit there and watch it together.
Oh, perfect. I love that.
It's fantastic. Like we know each other. It's not a problem. We know that hey, we have each other. We can do that. But look, we're tired.
We got needs, mother.
We are parents, new parents. We can't do this all the time. We gotta handle ourselves. Look, masturbation, it is a natural thing. Don't be afraid of it, please.
Yes. And in fact, you know yourself better and know what to ask for and have better sexual experiences, and not that's a dead body that I've just taken for the team. Right. Like, I've just added that guy to the body count. Ugh. No,
right. Like I feel like I've become
let's talk
better.
About what you like.
Right. And like again, like when watching it together, like, all right, hey, we would like to try that. And we do. We try to experiment, we try to get better with it. It's fantastic. Yeah. In the US, it's not that difficult to watch porn. It's not. Just adding your age or whatever, and then now that I'm over 18, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna put my actual birthday down. I don't need to guess. But in the UK,
in the UK now, in July, we unfortunately passed a law that porn is now no longer available unless you import your passport details or credit card or your driving license number and your full name and your date of birth. Because they passed a law so that under 18s won't be able to watch porn. Now, the big debate is, why am I putting my passport number into this porn site? Data protection is a thing. And funnily enough, the government uses a contractor to deal with that. And they said, data protection, we hold it and we don't do anything about it, blah, 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 and it gets trashed or whatever. These are the same guys that actually hold on to Pornhub and all of the major porn sites in the UK, funnily enough. So all of the problem that I agree that under 18 should not be watching. It actually should be under 16 because you can have sex in the UK when you're over 16. Oh my god, did I say under 16? Yeah, over 16. You can have sex when you're over 16, consensual sex. So really, it should be for under 16s. Now, the problem that's going to happen is you actively cannot stop every single website in the whole entirety of the internet. You absolutely can't do it. There's no way. And the big sites they're obviously going to, the government know about them. Because it's very obvious, like Pornhub is the number one porn website in the world. Facts, in my opinion. So, Pornhub is going to definitely be that. But then you've got some back alley, crazy type porn sites that are very dangerous and show really explicit, taboo, against the law things. Just putting out there things that are absolutely taboo. And those people probably won't be doing those checks because they're not going to pay a server to hold that data because they technically are not even supposed to be doing the things on the internet with what they're doing. So that being said, if the children that can't go to the Pornhub sites are now being directed to more back alley, dark porn, they're going to be even more exposed to things that were typically illegal and not shown on Pornhub. Do you understand what I mean? So now we're opening their minds up to more things.
Or, hear me out. We don't have to go that dark.
It is though, but that is a concern.
Well, there's a step before it though.
What's that step?
Either you can go that far, or you learn about data protection
VPNs
and virtual private networks to where you route your traffic to another place outside of the
which
UK.
is fine. Which I'm personally going to be doing. I'm not giving my passport. And the argument is then why, if we can have VPNs, why bother? Like, why bother pass this law then? Because I know there's some hardcore techie 15-year-old that understands what VPN is about. It's not going to really stop somebody if they want to have access to porn. They're going to get it.
I mean, I don't know. For me, I feel, and like I'm reading the I'm reading this BBC article. Furthermore, it will remain legal to use virtual private networks, which can make it seem like a UK-based computer is located elsewhere to avoid the age checks. The authorities have, however, acknowledged that age verification is not a silver bullet solution, but rather a means to make it less likely that children stumble across unsuitable material online. However, I look at that as we in the UK believe that data protection, security, and privacy is of the utmost importance. So we're going to use porn, let's face it, the hugest driver of technology out there.
Yeah,
It
I
gave
agree
us
to.
VHS. It gave us
Yes.
Blu-ray. It
Yeah.
actually gave us the wider adoption of the internet.
Streaming and streaming.
In streaming.
Streaming. Yeah.
So we're going to use porn again to encourage people, even at a very young age, to look into and use virtual private networks to ultimately secure and route their traffic. That way people in foreign countries cannot intercept their internet traffic. Now, what they do with these VPNs, we won't know. But that doesn't matter because our enemies won't either.
But then at the same time, this is where TemptressTeelia comes through. What do the VPNs get out of this other than a subscription? Yeah. I really do feel that they correlate in data and they're selling. I know there's some VPNs that actually get the data and sell it to people, to the government as well. So, well, I mean, it's like they're pushing you towards VPNs. Why? Why are they pushing you towards VPNs? What has the government got up their sleeve? What are they trying to do?
I mean,
think about it. It's the same with Apple and the way all of this AI and and all of this, they pushed us towards smartphone and digital usage. Now, Google listens to your shit. Even when you're talking, Apple's probably listening to us, and anything you say, guess what's going to happen tomorrow? Ad searches come up about anything that we probably talked about that we're interested in.
That's just Facebook. That's
not no. I don't go on Facebook. I do not go on Facebook. I do not. I stopped going to Facebook for over 5 years now. Man, I
envy people who can quit Facebook.
Oh, I can absolutely quit fucking. Oh, sorry. I can absolutely. I have got algorithm. I've been talking about something. Even in Discord on a voice chat, been talking about it. I've gone to YouTube. The ad comes up. Bruv. If I go and write something on Twitter, the ad comes up. Bruv. I'm telling you, we are being listened to, fam.
And see, I can't.
Are another step towards global domination.
For me, I can't fully agree to it now. Actually, not even with Facebook. Because the fact that, for me, I'm normally talking about the same things that I'm typing in search engines. All
right, go for a whole month. Don't type the same things. And just do really the search engine. Don't do Facebook, because Facebook is known that they do sell your data.
I've understood.
That's a known fact.
So with Facebook, I only use it in the bathroom where I'm not talking, and if I'm have enough time to use Facebook in the bathroom, I'm only doing one thing. So
no.
Unless they want to sell me ads for a laxative or some type of colonic, because bruh, whatever you're doing is just bruh.
But you do know Instagram. Are you on Instagram? Because Facebook is Instagram as well.
Right.
So they monitor us through
And again,
Instagram.
I say at that point too, it's mainly for things that I'm searching. So they'll show me stuff for code camps because I'm looking at code constantly.
I'm letting.
Yeah, I know. I know. I am not ignorant to it. I'm just saying that for me, it's harder to verify that. Because of the fact that I talk about the same things that I do Google searches for, I'm looking at websites for, I know the tracking is there. I'm not ignorant to it. It's just that I'm not sure. Like Facebook, I believe it. I actually have tested that. But like Google, I'm not too sure about that. Apple, I don't see ads on Apple anywhere.
I do.
So and then too, because even for YouTube, if you talk about YouTube, I pay I have Google Play Music, which comes with that YouTube Red thing.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't get ads, so I don't even know what ads are being served.
Oh yeah, no, they're doing that heavily.
Yeah, so like I have no clue, and honestly, I continue to pay for it because again, like at the latter part of each year, or again, it's 2019, we're going into the 2020 election. I do not want to see political ads. I did
I'm just
not know
saying.
what fake news was, and still don't know because of the fact that I don't see these sponsored posts anywhere.
Fair enough.
Just like every time, like
I'm
fake
just
news,
saying.
like
I'm
what
putting
is
out there.
that?
We are being watched, guys. Skynet is activated. Okay, Skynet is one. We talked about this last podcast that didn't make it to the air. By the way, we did. We had a full blown argument for another 1 hour. Me and Major after everybody had left, and we were talking about Skynet and AI, artificial intelligence, and cyborg. Are you a human if you have a cyborg arm or bio? See, I can't even say the words now.
Conversation got real deep.
That crazy. It was crazy. We were having it was a great debate. It was a healthy argument.
And I had to go take a whole bunch of self-help after that because it got too existential. Like I was holding on. I don't know if you know. Like I was good. Yeah, but when that conversation ended, like, I need to find something else to do. I am in a bad place right now. I need help.
I was talking about our existence as humans and when do we become human and when do we stop becoming human. And like, I was challenging him because we were talking about cloning as well. Like, when do clones become human? If they're a clone of you, aren't they human? Yeah, like, they don't know they're clones.
Yeah, nobody was in my house. So it was like, and I got to get out. I got it.
You actually didn't speak to me for a while after that.
I was like, nah, I don't want to open this bag of worms. Like, she told me to go watch Altered Carbon. I said, man, I need to even turn on Netflix. I'm like,
you need to watch Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon is a great film series. Even read the book, maybe. But I think the series is quite good. Like, it really makes you start questioning what makes you human.
Yeah, see.
What makes you human?
I think that's why I've been slightly avoiding it. Because, see, that makes me just want to think about that, and like if I start thinking about it, then I don't want to think about it. And I'm
have you watched Ghost in the Shell?
Huh?
Have you watched Ghost in the Shell before? I know you into anime, but do you watch Ghost in the Shell?
I do.
Not
and that's
like
the movie, the 1995 movie.
Yeah.
I have seen it, and that's where I was getting the individuality arguments.
Well, the movie really it was about gender, but anyway.
Really?
Yeah, it actually is about gender.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I know. Because that movie, well, even the manga series is very in depth and very. If you read his Appleseed comics that it's in the same universe, but it comes before Ghost in the Shell.
That's right, because
it's called Appleseed.
Yeah, I want to say
there's several movies
Ex Machina. I actually own Appleseed Ex Machina, the movie. I don't remember if I have Appleseed. I have seen it though.
I would say read the original works of Appleseed that came out in the 80s, and they talk about what we're talking about in terms of cloning and what is humanity. They talk about humanity and humans, and you can see how the world that it's almost like is it a prologue or epilogue? It is the beginning of Ghost in the Shell, how they even became, what had happened for it to get to Ghost in the Shell state.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like there's a bit in between it though, that there's a lot of years that have gone by. It's like a big jump. It's like the beginning is Appleseed, and like the final, what has finally come out of it is Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
I would say, and if you really love Ghost in the Shell, and I'm talking about the original works, the mangas, Ghost in the Shell, the series, I would say definitely go back and read the original Appleseeds. I can't remember if there's a decent the Appleseed movie. There is one decent Appleseed movie that is similar to the Appleseed mangas, but I would say 100% if you loved Ghost in the Shell, the original works, watch Appleseed for sure. For sure, I watch Appleseed, and also when I'm looking and reading Altered Carbon, and I've been reading the books as well to get a little bit more further in depth that sometimes the show doesn't really delve into. It almost is like it's almost the next step of evolution in regards. It's almost like, I would say it's almost in between. I don't know. It's a weird concept because we're taking out death now. Right. So now you're talking about death and immortality, and Ghost in the Shell talks about basically gender and identity, and then Appleseed talks about cloning and humanity and making utopias and things like that. Like, you know, having a utopia and how it affects the human mind. Right. So it is a great conversation to have after, if you've read or seen all of those works, because we are closely coming to a digital age where we are becoming bionic, and where a lot of we're becoming so trusting of AI that it's slowly integrating to the point of Skynet. I know I say that in joking, but it's actually like very serious. And we're on our way to, you know, cloning and becoming shells, like, and becoming so bionic that, are you actually human? Where does it stop? Where does it lie? Like, where does it end? Are you still human after that? You know, right? That cyberpunk kind of era. Mm-hmm. I went off a tangent again.
All right, we may need to rein Teelia in. I know.
Yeah, and it's coming up close to the time we got to end it. Yeah.
So how about we just do that? I know you've got some resting to do. I've got to get ready to get out of here myself. So where can they find all of this? All this cookout stuff? And no, again, it's not cooking. It can be. Teelia is looking for them recipes, but
oh yeah, I'm still looking. I'm waiting.
Where can people find the Cookout?
The Cookout on thecookout.org. It's our website. We have articles. It's slowly getting there. We get our article events listed on there. Or you can go to our Twitter, which is the Cookout.org as well. The Cookout.org across the board on all the socials, even on the Facebook. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Instagram. We obviously the Twitch. Well, the Twitch is just the Cookout, and we're on Mixer. Slowly becoming on Mixer. You can find us on YouTube, the Cookout as well. And we're putting things. If you're not really into Twitch and that, we put our highlights and videos and podcasts on YouTube as well. The live show is of the podcast is shown on Twitch, and then it's later uploaded into YouTube. So you can, you don't have to be a part of the Cookout to actually be a part of the Cookout in that regard. You can, find out what's going on and understand what we're kind of talking about. And the next podcast is going to be slightly different because next year is going to be our 2-year anniversary of the Cookout coming into next month. We established it on the 13th of May. I did some work here. I actually went back to the first conversation in the Discord to find out
charters.
Yeah, it was the 13th of May was the first conversation that was had in the Discord. And so on the 13th of May that was made. So we're doing a fundraiser event. It's going to start from the 6th of May and we'll run all the way into the 31st of May. We're going to have this showcase, loads of marathons, trying to fundraise for so we can bring more content to you and pay the people that give it to us. We want, we want to provide a space and provide an industry that support people of color. And instead of complaining about we don't have opportunities for people of color, we want to create opportunities for people of color. And if we can pay them, great. And that's what the fundraiser is about, just to, get some cash in hand so we can start paying the artists that create the t-shirts. We can start paying the editors, and start paying the articles for the articles and the photography. You understand what I mean? Like,
yes,
we're creating those, but you would, because you're an admin. But for everybody else, we want to put our money where our mouth is, and we invite you to come celebrate with us in the month of May. And if you can donate, great. If you can't, that's cool. Please share share it around. If you tweet around, please retweet and share it to somebody that hopefully could potentially help us get our goal. So the next podcast is going to be slightly different. Normally it's at the end of the month, but it'll be in the beginning of the month. We're going to have an admin podcast, admin full cast, and we're going to you can get to know the admin a little bit better, and we can talk. I don't even know what we're going to talk about. It will be interesting. But Denny will be coming along. I will be there, obviously. I hope Major will be there. Maybe True will be there, hopefully. I don't know who else. Maybe Anchor. Hopefully we get Lee and Musami. So yeah, hopefully we'll have like a full admin cast. But if we're not, it'll probably be like 4 of us.
Sounds
and
good.
That will be in the beginning. Yeah, that will be in the second week. We're recording it in the beginning of May, and I don't know when we're going to release it. And then we're going to have a Asian heritage live podcast show because it's Asian Heritage Month on May. I mean, obviously, we are people of color inclusive. It's not just black people. It's every realm. So we want to give some shout out to Asian heritage, and we're going to be hosting the Asian members that are in our Discord, and hopefully they will be talking about some cool things. I think that's it. I'm trying to think. Is there anything that I missed out? It is packed. It is packed because we've got the podcast, we've got the Dungeons and Dragons, we've got the gaming community night, we've got the creative stream that happened yesterday, but a marathon, but we're having it again in May. And then we're going to have 2 to 3 days of legit streaming marathon where we're all going to be streaming for hopefully 3 days straight, and the Cookout will be running live on Twitch.
That's
mostly.
fantastic.
Everything will be happening on Twitch. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But I'm talking away. Go ahead.
I would like to bring this full circle here. I have one more comment on Facebook about the mac and cheese and potato salad trash.
Okay, go on.
From somebody who is aware that I live in the South. How do you live in the South and survive? No, really, everything down there is fried. Potato or cheese or some mix of the 3. So how do you live down there? Well, nothing said I don't eat things that are fried that are potato or cheese. Nobody said I didn't eat those. I just don't eat macaroni and cheese and potato salad. Neither of which is fried.
They didn't clearly read your statement.
I just don't eat mac and cheese and potato salad. But I do eat fried foods, potatoes, and cheese. I love them.
Reading saves lives, okay? Reading saves lives. They don't want us to read anymore because then we won't be educated and save ourselves. Hello?
Also, I want to point out the only POC that commented on this post was the one who put the Medea gif up. Everybody else felt like they really had to let me know their opinions on things. And surprisingly, this experiment on Discord did not go off very well.
No, it didn't pop.
Everybody ignored, or it's a Sunday. But yeah, they know who I am.
They know you do trigger
I'm about to do something.
Didn't you say something about the Game of Thrones the other day? And just triggered everybody.
I've said something about the Game of Thrones, but no, I'm not sure if you remember the tweet of that millionaire.
Yeah.
Where he was standing in front of his Bentley. It's like he hasn't seen a Star Wars, and we can keep the Star Wars movie.
Trash. He's trash.
Okay. I imitated his tweet for Avengers.
That was it. And everybody was like, "You're taking a miss." So I think they've kind of like emotionally drained from MajorLinux, and don't even want to even just respond to him. And Paul Tambor hasn't been exposed to MajorLinux trolling ways. He probably hear this now.
I don't think it's trolling. I just like to have fun. Well, actually, I guess that's how trolls view themselves too.
It's a trigger troll, bro. It's like these are trolling statements.
Yeah, like I just now realized that's probably how trolls view themselves too.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a troll. Like,
I've become the one thing I hate. Oh my
yes.
god.
Another existential crisis that I've just put you in. Oh my god, I do this every month.
You
Oh
do.
wait. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Just gonna find some place to cry.
TemptressTeelia.
Find somewhere to cry silently.
Yeah.
Just wait for
Yeah.
my computer case to come in. That's all I'm waiting for now. That's all
Oh
I have
yeah. I
left.
saw what you got. I saw what you got. You got your new stuff.
Yes. Gonna hopefully shoot some video for a Steam cache. So that way, for those people who have to do a data caps or very slow internet, if you at least have a gigabit LAN, you can build a kind of a like a Steam cache server and tell your
Oh, you need to
computer.
write an article about this shit stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna try to shoot a video about it. I mean, there are plenty articles for it, but not many videos for it. Like actively going through and explaining, especially the Linux part of it.
Yeah, do that, but then do the video and then embed it. Hello, content. Thank you.
I'm fine.
I got another one and another one.
I was actually supposed to write something about Orlando too, but
yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, we're waiting.
I had conventions. I had conventions and was tired.
We need them articles, man.
Writing is so hard.
It's so hard. It's like with reading. Oh my god.
I gotta think of words to type.
Words are so hard. Oh my god.
So I like video.
Why don't you just text to speak? Like, you won't get one of them text to speak kind of typing programs and just talk.
Because then I have to talk a different way.
You talk anyway, but then you. Yeah, that's true.
I have to talk a different way. Like,
you gotta speak on the church. Hey, you gotta talk like that. Is that
yes, we will now begin to install the Linux operating system.
Okay, can I give you a tip? You need to train your. I don't know how good Linux is, but I know in Windows you need to just train the Windows text to speak, and then they'll learn. If they know my voice and how fast I can speak, dude. I mean, I had voice attack and I was doing Elite Dangerous with voice attack. Although I was shouting at it a couple of times because they didn't want to listen to me, but for the most part, it learned my accent. Just say it, just put it out there.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in to the Cookout fam. Not show, not farm, Cookout fam. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you in actually a couple of weeks. Peace out.
Yeah. Later.